All right, Jimmy, pop quiz time, Halloween edition.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, all right. What is the ugliest, most hideous thing in Delaware?
Route 1 traffic on a summertime Friday afternoon.
No, try again.
No? Route 1 traffic on a Sunday summertime afternoon.
Come on.
No. I gotta tell you the truth. Delaware doesn't do ugly.
No?
We've got forestry, we've got marshlands, we've got beaches, we've got some of the best towns in the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of those quaint towns is where you will find the ugliest, most ghoulish, most Halloweenish thing in Delaware. That town is Lewis. What is it? I'd tell you, however, then we wouldn't have anything to talk about with Jim Duffy of Secrets of the Eastern Shore.
Hey! Thanks for having me.
How far back are we going for this one?
Oh, we could go back 1,500 years, but let's not. Let's just go back 150 years.
Okay. Don't have much still left.
1830s.
Okay.
Captain Martin, a seafarer from Lewis, is sailing the South Seas, and he either buys or someone gives him this strange object. And now I've got to take a little bit of a detour to explain why that object became important over time.
Okay.
All right? So the detour takes us to New York City in 1842, where the newspapers there start receiving these letters saying, there's a guy named Dr. Griffin, and he's on his way to your city. And you would not believe what he has discovered while sailing the South Pacific. The letter said that Dr. Griffin could prove that mermaids were real.
Oh, really?
So the newspapers get all excited and they start printing illustrations of these beautiful bare-breasted mermaids and talking about Dr. Griffin's imminent arrival. And Dr. Griffin comes in at his hotel room. The reporters are knocking on the door and they're going to let us see the mermaid. And he's like, no, I'm a scientist. I wouldn't dream of letting you see them. And they beg and they plead and he goes, okay, I'll let you have a quick peek. And he opens up whatever crate he's got the mermaid in. And it's kinda, sorta mermaid-ish. It has the fins, but it's only like 2 feet tall. And it's a boy, it's not a girl.
Merman.
And it's got these sunken eyes and the teeth are bared like that Edward Munch painting, The Scream, you know, that famous.
Yes.
You just did the face, it was really good. It was really good. So he's going to take this to the Lyceum Institute of Natural History in England. But there's a delay because a guy named Phineas Taylor Barnum says, says, I want to put this on display so that the public can see it. And the reporters are knocking on the guy's, Dr. Griffin's hotel room saying, are you going to let Phineas show this? Are you going to let him see this? And he's like, no, absolutely not. I'm a man of science. And they beg, they plead, and eventually goes, okay, I'll let him show it for a few days.
Okay, this is getting a little suspicious, I have to admit. No offense.
It is.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was going to ask you,
Phineas Taylor Barnum. P.T. Barnum and Bailey's Circus. He wasn't just a circus guy, he did traveling shows, kind of traveling medicine shows. He was a total flim-flam man. There was no Dr. Griffin. Dr. Griffin was a friend of P.T. Barnum's. And P.T. Barnum's ran the whole scam in order to generate public interest for his museum. And yes, once the mermaid went up, attendance went through the roof. So it was a big success, and this mermaid became a very famous object despite its hideous Halloweenish ugliness.
So
this is where you get to 1,500 years.
Okay.
They're from Japan. They're from Japan, and it's kind of like, you know, the Day of the Dead, Mexican folk art tradition, Day of the Dead. It's kind of like that in Japan. There's a mythical creature called the Ningyo that's kind of half human, half fish, and really, really ugly. And fishermen actually sew them together with the bottom body of a fish and the top body of a monkey. Yeah, so they sew them together, and this was P.T. Barnum's proof that mermaids exist, which is how it became super famous and how it became a treasured heirloom in this Lewis family through many generations until the Zwainendale Museum opened in the 1930s. And they sort of apparently asked the Martin family if they could display it. It's been there ever since. This monstrous creature lays on this beautiful satin blue little blanket with its teeth bared, and I mean, it's really, really ugly. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's really ugly. You should
It's
go
just
see
one
it. I wonder if anybody in Lewis has ever gone out Halloween trick-or-treating dressed as the Fiji Mer-Men.
Fiji.
It would be a great costume.
Author Jim Duffy, as always, thank you so much.
We went a long ways right there, didn't we?
Sure did, all the way to
was
Japan.
awesome. All the way to Japan.